I'm running through. If I take you to the shard, that's your W. Two bitches, and they brought another two bitches. Playboy, yeah, I'm cute with it. Two sisters, what you wanna do in it? Fuck me good, I get you new figures. On a private jet, came from my life in ends. Big body range, sitting on a private plate. Had to ice my neck, that's a minor spend. Now I got a pussy and my diamonds wet. In Dubai with a whole load of Arabs. Need a new chain with a whole load of carrots. In the ring, I'm a beast, I'm a savage. Hit him in the face, cause a whole load of damage. In Dubai with a whole load of Arabs. Need a new chain with a whole load of carrots. In the ring, I'm a beast, I'm a savage. Hit him in the face, cause a whole load of damage. In Dubai with a whole load of Arabs. Need a new chain with a whole load of carrots. In the ring, I'm a beast, I'm a savage. Hit him in the face, cause a whole load of damage. In Dubai with a whole load of Arabs. Need a new chain with a whole load of carrots. In the ring, I'm a beast, I'm a savage. Hit him in the face, cause a whole load of damage.
You heard the chant. WBO, Cruiserweight Champion of the World, 16-0 with, what's that, 13 KOs. Lawrence O'Colly from Hackney. On T-Street Controversy with Fight V360. The undercard has been... I love what boxers rap, yo. I love it. The undercard for Joshua versus Usyk has been announced. Lawrence O'Colly defending his WBO Cruiserweight Championship against, just so happened, a Dylan Prasovic. Dylan. 15-0 with 12 KOs. I don't know who this man is. 26 years old. Let me see. Let me go pull up the rankings right here. Yeah, I like O'Colly raps, yo. Bunch of shade you guys are throwing. Let's go look at the cruiserweights. Where's this guy ranked? Let's see. This guy is he even ranked? He's not on here nowhere. Am I missing? There he is. He's number 1. Is he the mandatory or what's the deal? Also on the undercard, you're going to have the return of Callum Smith. 27-1 with 19 KOs. Last fight was when he got his arms beat up by Canelo, December of 2020. Lennon Castillo, never been stopped before. 21-3-1 with 16 KOs. I've seen him fight against Bivol. Tough fighter, but basically it's a comeback fight. And then, of course, you got Campbell Hatton versus some guy, Izan Dora. 3-7. He got no KOs. He's been knocked out once against a guy who knocked him out in his debut. Campbell Hatton, the baby steps. This is the future. To be honest, I don't want to give the kid too much shit, but yeah, I don't think he's going to have it. I don't think he's going to have it. I watched his last 3 fights. I believe I may have covered one of them. Bro, I don't think he's got the goods. I think he's going to end up getting beat up. But overall, I mean, you know, what did you expect? I can say it's a piss poor undercard. I'm not feeling it. However, I'm an O'Colly guy. I've been covering him like basically since he started his career. So, you know, I'm going to cover that fight. Callum Smith, okay, all right, you're going to get some coverage, Callum Smith, all right. Campbell Hatton, not adding him to the rotation. And whoever the hell this guy is, I don't know. Chris, I don't know who this man is. Anybody know who this man is? Am I supposed to? I guess I'm supposed to, huh? Well, I don't know who he is. And that is your undercard. It's going to be taking place on September the 25th. Here in the States, it's going to be on the DAZN. Over in the UK, it's going to be on Sky Sports pay-per-view. And it is taking place in Tottenham, in the stadium. What's that, 70,000, something like that? I mean, you know, Joshua and Usyk, they command a lot of money, especially Anthony Joshua. But if you really look at the stable of Matchroom, especially Matchroom UK, they're kind of spread thin. You know, I mean, if you look at Joshua, you got Dylan White, Katie Taylor. I mean, like, who was their stars? I'm talking about, like, Matchroom stars, Matchroom UK, that moved the needle. They're trying to make Campbell Hatton a thing, but I don't think that's going to work. So, regarding, and then Callum Smith has been defeated. Billy Joe Saunders has been defeated. So, Kell Brook, he's, you know, like, who is there? You know, I mean, they got Conor Ben on the way up, but he's not there yet. Yeah, I'm not feeling the undercard, dog. This is not something that's calling me. My bad. I was saying the last 2 fight camps ain't really been, you know, I ain't been feeling them. And this undercard, I'm not feeling it. It's crap. I mean, you know, am I going to sit here and just try to act like I'm going to find some love and like their showcase fights? Like this Okali versus, I mean, yeah, the guy's ranked #1. The guy's ranked #1 by the WBO, meaning it's Dylan Prasovic. But it's like, bro, it's a filler fight. Colin Smith is in a return fight. It's like, you know, a filler fight. Campbell Hatton, I'm surprised they didn't put Queen of the Simps, Ebony Bridges on this joint to try to get the simp money. But they probably figured we can just sell out off a Joshua name, so we don't need her. We'll save that simp money for another card. If you don't know, Alexander Usyk is the WBO mandatory for Anthony Joshua. After that, Joe Joyce is going to be the next WBO mandatory in line, but that won't be due for about another year or so. Deontay Wilder and, what's that, 3 weeks? Or is it 2 weeks? And two weeks later, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are finally going to fight, hopefully, on PBC on Fox pay-per-view with Frank Sanchez versus Efe Ajagba. Jared Anderson versus some guy. And what's the other fight? Robert Hernandez versus Adam Kownacki too. I like that card. That's a way better card than this. Last time Anthony Joshua fought was Kubrat Pulev, wasn't it? Yeah, and that was by the time they step into the ring 10 months ago. And that was to fulfill his IBF mandatory. Before that, Andy Ruiz in the rematch in Saudi Arabia. Let's see. Alexander Usyk has not, you know, looked impressive at heavyweight. 18-0 with 13 KOs. Many feel he may get knocked out by a jab. He had to do a lot of evading of Derek Chisora when they fought nearly a year ago in October of 2020. Chaz Witherspoon, yeah, he stopped him, but it was Chaz Witherspoon, bro. They're going to add Ebony Bridges. Got you. Makes sense. She can help out that card, get the cent money up in there. So I look at it like this. I'm giving Alexander Usyk a 45% chance. You know, I don't have it a heavy edge. I think boxing, you know, he can dance circles around Anthony Joshua, kind of like Anthony Joshua did to Andy Ruiz, even though Andy Ruiz was 300 pounds. I know it's a bad comparison, but what I'm saying is I do believe he has the ability to be able to outbox him. In fact, let's go listen to a little bit of Anthony Joshua, what he had to say to Sky Sports a few days ago about fighting him. Please take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We're going to be back later on today. Your Dennis Ugas is holding, and the WBA. So the WBA is hosting a Zoom call with WBA Super Champion, your Dennis Ugas, later on today. So I got some questions I want to ask. That's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then we're going to take a little short break, and then we're going to come back and stream the and preview the Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley card. That's going to be a media workout too. So busy day. Tomorrow is the Vitor Belfort media workout for the Triller card. It's a lot of shit going on. Just keep it that way. And you can also expect for Canelo versus Plant to have a press conference and that type of stuff coming up too. But let's go listen to Anthony Joshua real quick. We'll be right back.
One of the things that I took from the interview that we did here about a month ago up on the roof, when you look at the feedback online, a lot of people saying you look very lean. We spoke about your weight. I think more than anything else in your career, sometimes on the scales, the weights have been different. You do look lean, though. Is that a conscious thing, or is that the body just responds to the training that you're doing? You never look at your weight, or is this a tactical thing that you are trying to come in a little bit lighter?
No, I do look at my weight, but it's not like I'm not trying to make weight. I'm a heavyweight at the end of the day. So what I tend to do is I tailor my training. I'm getting a lot of experience. I've been fighting good fighters for a long time. So when I fight good fighters, I study them. I get to learn a lot about their training camps. So from fighting like Dylan, let's say when I fought like Ruiz, I learned a lot from that fight. Klitschko's of the world, Povetkin's, now Usyk's of the world, Joseph Parker's, who was a champion. From the Olympics, the World Championships, I studied a lot, and I've just learned how to condition my body for specific fights. So I'm looking trim for this fight. I'm fighting a guy who's a 12-round fighter. Do you know what I mean? So it would be silly of me to go in there bulky, with my muscles screaming for oxygen. I've been training like a 15-round fighter in this camp, and I'll be well conditioned to fight. So that's the key. And what happens when I train that way is my body just adapts and takes its natural form, and this is the form it's taken.
One of the things with fighting a southpaw is you do adjust your training, and we've seen from your Instagram and people around that you've got some big sparring partners up there, some big southpaws. How is that side of things, the southpaw preparation and the southpaw sparring? Is it something you enjoy, something that drives you mad?
Nah, deep practice. I want good sparring, tough sparring, because we call it deep practice because you practice how you perform at the end of the day. So yeah, we get in some really good sparring partners. You don't want to leave it all in the gym, but at the end of the day, as long as you're in there training for purpose, you're going to learn. And adversity is where you find out who you are. So I put myself in like vulnerable positions and I get comfortable there. Guys with more power than me, quicker than me, longer reach than me, better jab than me. And through that process, I develop as well. So it's a good process that I'm going through, adapting to a southpaw. And then in about 4 to 5 weeks, I'll put it all on display in front of all these amazing people in this beautiful stadium.
Yeah, you seem in a great place at the moment. My final question, it's an exciting time on Sky Sports at the moment. This fight kicks off a new boxing schedule, but also a great sporting schedule. So to be part of that, to be the first one, it must be exciting times for you as well.
Yeah, another exciting moment in boxing, another exciting moment for me and my fans. What can I say? As I said, it's humbling. It just still baffles me as to what's going on in this boxing industry and how I'm a part of this like amazing experience. I'm just standing here in the middle of Tottenham Stadium, like we've got it to ourselves. Do you know what I mean? It's just...
Sometimes AJ do be cringe though, and he just be talking, don't really be saying nothing. But as I said, I'm giving it a 55% chance for Joshua, 45 for Usyk. I'm not confident. I do think it's going to go to distance though, and I'm interested. Basically, I think that Usyk is going to do a lot of moving. That's his best chance, right? Win on points. You don't want to go out there and try to eat one of them uppercuts. Also, let's go look at it. Who was the last southpaw that Anthony Joshua fought? I've been smoking, so got a new strain I'm working on, so forgive me if I can't even remember who's a southpaw or not. But, you know, Alexander Usyk is a cruiserweight, 34 years old. I've been covering him. In fact, if you really want to take the time out, I've done it before. All of his fights are available online. I've literally seen every single Alexander Usyk fight, and I started really paying attention to him when he came over to HBO. Was it HBO or Glowowski? I don't remember. But anyway, I believe it may have been Glowowski. But I did a whole binge of his fights. Charles Martin is southpaw? I think he is, isn't he? Is he? But, well, I like Charles Martin, but Charles Martin is not like as skilled as, you know, Alexander Usyk. We still don't know what's going on with him and, you know, why because he was ranked very highly by the IBF. And he could have got an IBF Mando, but whatever's going on with him, I don't know. What about Usyk versus Steve Cunningham? I don't know. I like Alexander Usyk, bro, but you know, my concern is everyone's concern. You know, how is he going to react to being hit? Now, Anthony Joshua is not going to put on the same amount of pressure that Derek Chisora put on. So what if Usyk plays keep away, you know, in and out? But what happens if he makes a mistake and get cracked in person? You know, to be honest, I want to see how he reacts to a punch. I want to see him get punched dead in his face. I hope it's an uppercut. I want to see what that chin looks like, because at heavyweight, especially with the top 5 guys, like, we got to see what he looks like. In fact, let's go look at the rankings real quick at my beautiful website, FightView360.com. Shout out to Mikey for keeping the rankings up to date. So really quick, right? Let's rank the heavyweights. Now, Tyson Fury, WBC, Anthony Joshua, WBA, IBF, WBO, and the highly seductive and lucrative Jade, IBO champion. Trevor Bryan, Don King just turned 90 years old. With everything that's been going on with the WBA, there's a very good chance that Trevor Bryan could end up fighting Anthony Joshua, be ordered to. Crazy ass shit, right? So Dylan White is the WBC interim champion, and that's just a shame right there. You think Usyk can hurt Joshua? Hell no. What proof would I have, or data to have, that to believe that Usyk can hurt? Hell no. Get out of here, elite gamer. Get out of here. Asking me that crap. So let's rank the heavyweights, right? Tyson Fury. Do you have Tyson Fury as number 1 to Joshua because of resume? Joshua did avenge his only loss. For some reason, I feel Joshua is the... I'm going to say Joshua is the number 1 heavyweight to me. Tyson Fury is undefeated, yes, but Joshua is the number 1 heavyweight to me. So I'm going to say Joshua, Fury, White, Wilder, and who's number 5? Is it Usyk? Joe Joyce, Andy Ruiz? But Usyk hasn't done anything. I mean, he does have the win over Chisora, but how do you rate a win over Chisora? Interesting discussion. So Joshua 1, Fury 2, White 3. No, Wilder, interesting. Wilder 3. No, it's got to be White over Wilder, right? Now, I'm doing my top 5. I'm not asking you guys to agree, but the point is, it's pretty, you know, the top 5 at heavyweight, mixed or match, is pretty top heavy. But then you have guys in that second tier, you know, of the top 10, like Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker, Michael Hunter, Andy Ruiz, if he's not in your top 5, Felix Hergovitz. Now, the question is, how does Usyk fare against those guys? In my opinion, Anthony Joshua has a chance to beat all of those guys off of skill. But with Usyk, we don't know, because in boxing, it takes one shot. I don't know if Usyk can beat all of those guys. Not until if he beats Anthony Joshua. My personal opinion. Daniel Dubois, to be honest with you, I was never high on him. By the way, he returns. He's actually having a media workout later on today. We'll be streaming. And also, he returns this weekend on the Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley card this Sunday on Showtime pay-per-view here in the States. I don't know where you guys are getting it over in the UK and other territories. Him and Tommy Fury are on that card. Joe Joyce fought a few weeks back against Carlos Takam. Covered that. And he's just re-upped his contract with Frank Warren in Queensberry. We don't know what Dylan White's doing next, but remember, he's a WBC champion, WBC interim champion, so it's got to be somebody in the top 15. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ijit Kabiel, this guy right here, or Martin Younger, this guy. It's going to be one of these 3. I bet you. It's going to be either him, Hergovitz. Unless they go Derek Chisora and Charles Martin's PBC, I don't see that happening. Unless they do another Derek Chisora fight, and it's like, how is he still ranked? I don't know. Cabiel, maybe. He beat Chisora. You know, made Michael Hunter's right there. I'm talking about fights for Dylan White. Joseph Parker, but who's Joseph Parker? Isn't Joseph Parker supposed to be fighting who? What's the rumor with him? Yeah, Usyk already beat Hunter. The fight's already happened. That was on HBO. That was like his HBO debut, I believe. Both fighters. I don't know. I'm not really hyped about this undercard. I mean, I'm going to cover it, of course. You know, I'm really only interested in the weigh-ins, to be honest, and the and basically whatever type to see what, you know, Usyk's going to be weighing and which he's going to be working on. Usyk at his heavyweight fights have weighed in 215, 217. Both his last two heavyweight opponents, 20 plus pounds. Joshua's last fight weighed in at 240 against Pulev. And Ruiz was the lightest he's been in some time at 237. So he's saying that he is watching tape. And, you know, he's aware that Usyk is the smaller fighter and may implore movement. So, you know, he's going to train for that, or his body to be that. Because I think he's going to have to chase him around, to be honest. I think Usyk, I mean, it's smart for Usyk to do that. He don't want to sit there and try to get caught with that. And overall, Usyk has that amateur pedigree. So I think he has a strong chance to outbox him. By the way, sometime in the next couple of weeks, and I guess we should find something, maybe find out something next week or so, the Fury versus Joshua 3 build-up stuff is going to start coming. You know, the fight camps and all of that. Fury has put on his social media that he's going to go social media silent. You know, so he is in camp. Hopefully nobody gets COVID again or whatever the case is. And to be honest, I'm still wondering where the buzz is going to be for that fight. I don't really see it as being, you know, I don't see the fight doing better than the first one. I see this second fight having like a huge pay-per-view drop-off, bro, like in like pay-per-view buys. Like, I'm talking like if the first one, what did they say the first one did? I mean, the second one. Let me go Google it real quick. I think this one probably going to do something like some 500,000 buys or some shit like that. Wilder Fury 2 pay-per-view buys. I don't think, like, pay-per-views, man, 800 to 850,000 is what's being reported right here. And it's not known because there's been like conflicting reports if that 850,000 included the digital buys too. I remember something saying it may have did like 1.1 overall with digital and pay-per-view. But either way, regardless, that was considered a flop. You think this second fight here in the state, this third fight here in the state is going to do 800,000? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Pay-per-view is hard over here in the States, man. And then kids going back to school and COVID, football season, Canelo being the next month. I don't know, man. Pay-per-views is not looking good like they used to. Especially over here in the States, there's really no buzz behind this fight. There's really no buzz behind, you know, Wilder Fury right now. It's almost like it took too long to make. And I wonder what ground they can make up. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We can't compare UK pay-per-view buys to American pay-per-view buys because the UK pay-per-view prices are what? No more than 30, 40 American dollars compared to ours are $79 over here in the States. So we can't really compare those. Yeah, the undercard. It is what it is. You know, I mean, I'm looking forward to Lawrence O'Colly's fight. That's about it. But Colin Smith's comeback fight for what? You know, Florian Marco, I'm not, you know, like, you know, it's not calling me. You know, they're just fights where people are watching like, oh, okay. Like, put it this way, people, like, you know, there's no fight where you can look and say, yo, this is going to be a good fight. Either man can win. You know, I'm talking about with the main fights. Like with O'Callaghan versus Prazovic. It's like, okay, O'Callaghan. Colin Smith versus Castillo. Okay. Colin Smith. Campbell Hatton's supposed to win. I like Malik Scott. I'm giving Wilder a better chance than I did several months ago to win. I still got Tyson Fury, but I'm not comfortable with that anymore. You know, Tyson Fury better not go in there playing around or he's going to get his ass knocked out. But I still feel the same about how Deontay Wilder handled the first fight. I mean, the second fight, the defeat. So I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, the Fury Wilder 3 undercard is way better than this undercard. You know, you got Robert Helenius versus Adam Kownacki 2. You got Efe Ajagba versus Frank Sanchez. And Jared Anderson versus, I forgot who. Way better than this. At least those fights mean something. But you know, it is what it is. The Matchroom stable is stretched thin, especially Matchroom UK. So that's why, you know, and Matchroom UK, they got these dates to fill with the DAZN. So that's why you're seeing these fight camps and, you know, these watered down cards. They have obligations to keep their broadcast contract. You know, so that's why these undercards are not as stacked as they used to be years ago under Matchroom. I mean, look what Frank Warren's going through. His undercards just be his cards just overall. Like, it happens to promoters, you know, like they go through like a funk like this and they got to rebuild up. PBC is having some issues too, you know, in certain divisions. Look what's going on with their welterweight. Shit's in shambles over there. So, you know, it happens. And if Wilder loses, PBC's heavyweight situation is a little, I mean, yeah, they got Andy Ruiz, but it's a little funky too. Edgar Berlanga on the undercard of Fury Wilder. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe the free TV portion. Wouldn't be surprised at all. But I was really hoping that Lawrence O'Callaghan for his next fight would have went for a unification. That's what I was hoping for. Miras Breedis also is moving up to heavyweight, if you haven't heard. IBF champion, he's moving to heavyweight. I don't know if he's officially dropped his belt, though. Also, remember, in a couple of hours, your Dennis Ugas is going to be having a WBA Zoom call. I'm going to get some questions in to ask if, you know, the WBA is going to order him to fight Jamal James, or, you know, like if they're going to allow him to fight Pacquiao, some shit like that. Yeah, but Breedis has moved up. The DAZN is buying BT. Yeah, right. I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. So y'all just be making shit up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up out of here. Get ready for the stream later on. And remember, Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley are having a media workout in 2.5 hours. So we're going to be streaming that as well. So busy day. I'll be back later on. This is T Street Controversy with Fight View 360.